And we're live, everybody. Welcome to Bloody Mary Brunch. Y'all probably thought I fell off the face of the earth because it's been 2 or 3 weeks, I guess, since I've done one of these. Had a lot of stuff going on. Been very busy here on the Honstar side. But with me today, I have Rob Ramlin Canuck.
Yeah,
How you
I'm
doing,
still
Rob?
here.
Yeah, you're still.
I'm alive.
You didn't forget about me. You're still here.
Yeah, I'm still here. And
It may just be you and I talking. Maybe
Yeah.
once they see it's live, we'll have a few people show up. But
yeah, you need to stop scaring me with your 6 o'clock morning tweets.
yeah, I didn't think about the way I worded that, I guess.
I'm like, how drunk
went
was I when I when I agreed to this?
Yeah. Oh, I need to turn my there we go. I need to turn my speakers off. Yeah, I went back and looked at it after the fact. I was like, yeah, I probably could have worded that a bit better.
DJ goes on that day. He's like, yeah, my competition. I'm like, I found out about it at 6 o'clock this morning. What are you talking about?
You're like, I don't even remember drinking last night. What the hell happened?
Yeah, when the hell did I agree to that? Although, I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't have goose egged that night, so I would have been okay.
And you would actually do good with the country stuff, right? You're a good country or a big country fan.
Yeah, usually there's at least 2 songs during the night that I know that nobody else does. And then there's a whole bunch of them, especially in the country end, where it's like, I know the damn song, but I can't think of the title.
Yeah.
And I can sing the damn song, but I can't remember because some of the titles are really stupid. Especially the newer the country music is, the stupider the title tends to be.
Yeah, and doesn't necessarily have anything to do with any of the lyrics of the song.
Yeah. So it's like you can't even wait for that chorus line to play in your head because it's not going to help you worth a damn.
You see that not just with country, but it's funny. A lot of the songs that you see the people singing in their head and then they buzz in and get it wrong. It's because the chorus isn't the name of the song.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. The one that I laughed the most about was Blue Bayou because everybody was sitting there and I'm like, I knew it right when the first keys hit and I'm like, it's Blue Bayou. And I'm yelling at the screen, come on, DJ. Come on, DJ. You should know this. What the hell's wrong with you? Yeah, it was one of my breakdown moments.
I still think it's funny that some people think still that it's cheating to look at the chat. I'm like, how do I keep people from looking at the chat? It's even on the StreamYard side. They can look at it. They can't talk on it, but they can look at it. So how can I keep you from looking at the chat? It's your choice if you want to or not. And the game has shown that it doesn't always help. Speaking of DJ.
Yeah, speaking of the champ.
Good morning, sir. He's owning it. Just us three, I guess, because nobody else is here right now. But DJ makes the 4th of the winners this season, so he will be in the Tournament of Champions.
Yes, he will.
We were looking for our 4th champion. We found our 4th champion. Unfortunately, he wears onesies. Oh yeah, it is kind of the honor system. And the funny thing is, I've had people on there. I think it was Piper that's like, "I'm going to cheat and use the chat." I'm like, I never said it was cheating. Jesse, what's up, bro? Good to see you, Jesse. It's been a while.
Plus, 9 times out of 10, I mean, you've got to take into consideration that people are going to purposely put stuff in there just to get you wrong.
Yeah, and there's the lag.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody's fast, they can buzz in before you can get it out of the chat anyway.
Yeah.
It's normally on those songs that are, stumping people that it kind of comes into play. You were watching a banned cartoon video.
Alrighty then.
Do I want to know what kind of banned cartoon it was? Oh, okay. It was one with like the flashing. It was one with like the flashing lights or something that could make people have seizures.
Oh, JP has joined the stream.
Hey, JP. Yeah, you're talking about Shaq when Shaq was on there, DJ. She was goose egged until she suddenly realized there's people in the chat putting answers in there. And a lot of the times they're right. So she started using the chat, and it went pretty good for her until either A, people were just wrong, or B, people realized what she was doing and started putting wrong answers.
Yeah, that would be my. I mean, that's your easiest give, right?
Yeah.
If you're bombing and then all of a sudden you're getting them, well, then it's not going to be that hard to tell.
And you answer like 4 in a row, and then somebody in the chat says something, and that's the answer she gives, and it's wrong. Oh, it just so happened you both had the same answer.
Yeah, isn't that a quinky dink?
It's kind of like cheating off your neighbor in school.
Yeah.
You both fail and you miss the same questions.
Yeah. Then it's pretty obvious that what was done. Then you know for sure that you're screwed.
So how are things going up there in Canada as far as the outbreak? Are they starting to loosen things up any? Or
they're starting to. They're starting to. Things are starting to open up again. However, I think they're gonna probably end up locking back down. So I mean, like the hospitals are still, you get the scanners at the front and checking your temperature and everything, and only people that have an appointment can go in, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the renal clinic is still, like my kidney clinic is still shut. It's like a ghost town in there.
Cheers, everybody. Here's the Bloody Mary and Bloody Mary brunch. Cheers to you. Wrong way. Cheers to you, Rob. Appreciate you being here.
No problem.
Oh yeah, Canada. I always want to say Canada. Canada now arrests stormtroopers, apparently.
Yeah, that was a further look of the car. That was RCMP.
That's Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Yeah, or regular coffee mounted pricks. Yeah.
Or the Mounties.
Mm-hmm. And as I said on DJ stream, I don't know how successful they're going to be if they go up against the RCs, because in the States you have the Secret Service to protect the president.
Yeah.
In Canada, it's the Royal Canadian Military. It's the Royal Canadian Mounted Police to protect the Prime Minister. So any bad publicity gets shut down pretty quick when it has to do with the RCs.
I didn't. I'll be honest with you. I heard the blurb about it. I didn't really look into it. So what was the point of why they arrested the stormtrooper? Was there something suspicious going on, or was just they saw this random dude walking in an outfit with a fake gun?
I can't speak to why they did it. I mean, it is Lethbridge, Alberta, but my guess is somebody made a call, probably overhyped it, and they went in, and now they'll try to get it quieted as fast as humanly possible, because it's a public relations nightmare.
Oh yeah. Yeah, once that picture hit the internet.
Yeah.
Really? A stormtrooper outfit?
Oh yeah. But then again, I mean, working security for 15 years, we always had to smack our new trainee guards upside the head, because they would see what the Winnipeg police would do in certain situations, and then they would try to replicate said stupidity. And then we'd have to kindly remind them that A, they don't have a gun, B, they don't have a stripe on their leg, and C, they don't have backup in squad cars that also have guns. So maybe don't go up to the sleeping guy who's passed out because he drank too much the night before and hit his pressure point. Probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they still do it because they see the police do it. because that's what they do. They grab the pressure point behind the ear and they push it as hard as they can to wake the person up. And then the guard writes a report about how some guy got up and punched him in the face, and he can't figure out why the guy punched him in the face.
Here I was just minding my own business. This drunk dude jumped off a bench and punched me in the face. I don't know what's going on.
All I did was wake him up. Yeah, how did you wake him up? Well, I put the toe of my boot into his rib cage. Oh, so then you assaulted him and he got up and hit you in the face. Okay, this makes more sense now.
I gently shook him awake by sticking the toe of my boot into his rib cage.
Yeah.
I don't know what the problem is.
I don't know what the problem is. Or I used the pressure point behind the ear. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. Well, one, you're a dumbass, and two, if you do that again, I'll kick you in the ass.
And then in that job, you'd had what, a cell phone and a flashlight?
Yeah, basically.
Pretty much it.
Yeah, and you're not even allowed to use mag lights anymore because they're considered too much of a weapon.
because you can hit people. Oh yeah, because you beat the shit out of people with them.
Yeah.
Especially the old school, like big D battery ones. Like
Yeah,
the big extended.
Yeah.
They're basically a baton with a light on the end.
they're basically, and you're not allowed to carry them now. Like the guards are not allowed to carry them, and some guards still do, but that's the other guards that always make me laugh are the ones that have the cuffs without the cuff license, which drives me insane. But yeah, I could tell security stories all day long.
I probably wouldn't keep my job very long, but I think it would be funny to carry a pair of those like sex cuffs that got like the fuzzy leopard print stuff like on them, the padded
don't
stuff.
Laugh. I've seen it done. I have seen it done. I think the stuff I've seen working security for 15 years, like there was like, when you're training somebody on job and you know that this is just not going to go anywhere, that this is not cut out for them, and they need to get out of
that in my line of work a lot.
Right. Yeah. They need to go, and they need to go quickly. Well, there was this one time I was training for mobile, which is basically alarm response and guard checks at several different sites. So you're in a vehicle all for your 12-hour shift. And I get this trainee, and he identifies himself very quickly as a very religious person, which is fine.
Okay.
It's fine. But
I just told you my name and tried to shake your hand. But I appreciate you telling me all about your religious affiliation.
So one of our first patrols was a lockup, which is Brookside Cemetery, which is one of the biggest cemeteries in Winnipeg. And he got real antsy about the fact that he had to go into a cemetery because he found it very disrespectful. And he really lost his shit when he found out that we had to go through it at 2:30 in the morning to do a patrol. So he was not exactly all that happy about it. So I've already written this guy off as not going to pass the mobile test. So we get to one of the parks, which is on top of a hill. And it's basically just a hill. It used to be it's just a big hill, and they've got like paths and stuff for whatever. And then in the wintertime, they have snow, sledding and stuff. But there's a parking lot at the top of the hill. So we have to go up at 10 o'clock, kick everybody out, and lock the gate at the bottom of the hill. So we get up there, and I see a truck that I've kicked out about 6 times already. Yes, Dumpster Hill. So I see a truck that I've kicked out about 18 times already, and I get this really bad, evil grin on my face. And I go, okay, so here's how it's going to work. I'm going to tell these 2 cars, listen to what I say, and then you go do the truck. And he goes, okay. So I go over to the cars, and I inform them that unless they want to be up here till 6 o'clock in the morning, this would be a good time to go down to the hill and get out of my park. So send them over to the truck. Now, from the back of the truck, you can see the guy sitting in the driver's seat from behind. So he goes up to the truck window, knocks on the door. As he knocks on the window, another guy's head comes up from that guy's lap.
Oh.
Which I knew what's going to happen, which is why I sent him to the truck. He turned 16 shades of white and just stood there going, and then I finally talked him and went, yeah, it's time to close, buddy. Oh, okay. And he starts his truck up and down the hill he goes. And finally, about 5 minutes later,
they were just having Bible study with each other.
Yeah, Bible study, yeah. So he finally gets back into the car and he looks at me. He says, does that happen often? I says, oh, yeah, about twice a night. And next day he handed in his resignation.
And then went directly to church.
Probably,
yeah. And hasn't left church since.
Hasn't left church since, yeah.
He's still there.
He's still there, yeah. Yeah. But no, that was one of the most priceless training moments. It also didn't help that I went because Brookside Cemetery has a very narrow winding road because whoever designed it didn't think of straight roads. They're just like 90-degree turns, and they have trees all along lining the roadway. So I'd go through because I knew where all the turns were because I go through it about 3 times a night every night. So I'd go through it about 40 clicks an hour doing hairpin 90-degree turns. So yeah, he decided that mobile wasn't the thing for him.
It's funny you say that, DJ, because I worked third shift with a guy for a while that was scared of the dark. And he wouldn't admit he was scared of the dark, but you could tell he was scared of the dark. And it was kind of funny to me. He never wanted to be on the ground by himself where there wasn't a bunch of lights. Which some places we go on my job, there's not a bunch of lights. And I have my job to do on the engine, and he has his job to do on the ground. So it's kind of hard for us to always be together. Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't work very well. No. Well, to go into train, you'll appreciate this story. My dad used to tell this story because my dad in the 40s used to work for CN, and then he worked for CP, which is Canadian Pacific and Canadian National up here. And
one slight interruption. It's not all going to be Knobgoblin stories, Seth, I don't believe.
No.
So I think the Knobgoblin stories are done, probably. Or we can tell Rob we want to kind of leave those out if you don't want to talk about those. Because as a security guard, I'm sure you have many Knobgoblin stories of
I could tell you
multiple mixtures of people.
I could tell you the story of the guy who pulled the medical alarm because he got his other head stuck in the faucet to the tub. But anyway, so my dad used to tell the story of when he used to work as a yardsman for CN. Back when they used to have the pin to drop in when the two cars coupled together, they dropped the pin.
Yeah, the old couplers. Yeah.
The old couplers. So they had a new guy, and my dad was on break. And as he gets back from break, he finds out, he sees an ambulance arriving and everything else. He goes to check out what's happened. What's happened is the dumbass in the middle of winter, because it was easier, got up on the knuckle so that when they collided, he slipped right before the two connected. Yeah. And both knuckles caught him in the midsection, essentially cutting him in half.
Yeah, he got coupled up. That happened to a guy. It was before I ever started where I work, so it's been quite a while ago. But that happened to a guy where I work. That he made a boo boo and got coupled up.
Yeah, between
two cars like that.
Yeah, tried to take a shortcut, paid for it.
Yeah, and I don't remember the whole story right now, but it was something. It was something like you were saying. It was some kind of shortcut, like, at the last minute wanted to adjust something or do something that he shouldn't have been doing when it was that close to coupling. And got in the middle and didn't get out soon enough, and it coupled in between, with him in the middle, as you say.
And then one of our tests for finding out just how intelligent our mobile drivers was because you always had to do an inspection of the car before you took it out of the parking lot at the office, and we once in a while test to see if the new guys were actually doing the inspections or if they were just writing shit down on the paper. And what we do is we remove one of the spark plug covers.
Okay.
That was visible. So the minute you lifted the hood, you'd see that
something obvious they should catch.
Yeah. Or would they be phoning Mobile One saying that the car won't start?
It's funny you say that, JP, because I actually did mess with this guy a lot. I worked with him off and on quite a bit. I would change jobs around. I would end up back working with him a lot of times on that third shift job. And he got that particular job. You serviced an industrial plant, so you had to wear he had to wear a hard hat. I didn't have to. He had to wear a hard hat to go in there. So he got like one of those like really actual real miner's lights, like you've seen the coal mine lights that are bright as like 5 surfaces of the sun, because that's how scared the dark he was. He wanted his own sun to keep the monsters away from him and the boogeymen. So I started. This was partly true, but it wasn't 100% true. There was a guy in the area where we worked this job that had went missing, and they found him like a week later, he had hung himself in the forest somewhere or in the woods somewhere. It was in the general area of where we worked, but it wasn't like right there.
Yeah.
But where we worked was the industrial plant, the yard where our cars were, and then everything else was like middle of nowhere forest.
Yeah.
So every now and then we'd have to go down the opposite end of the yard, which was basically once you went past the opposite end of the yard, you were nowhere. It was just forest. So we'd have to go down to that, and he hated to go down to that end anyway because there was only one street light down there. Whereas you went to the other parts of the yard, there was a bunch of them. So I get to talking one night, and I'm like, "Hey, did you hear about that guy going missing the other day?" And he's like, "Oh no, I hadn't heard about that." And this part was true. I was like, "Yeah, this guy like disappeared." I mean, I of course made it sound like it was like, 200 foot from where we were. I'm like, this guy, went missing just right here. He's like, "Oh man, did they ever find him?" I'm like, "Yeah, they found him hanging from a tree, and his neck had stretched out so far that he was almost touching the ground." And he's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, he was hung from a tree." I said, it was just through the woods over there, I think. So from then on, he never wanted to go to that end of the yard because he was convinced the dude's ghost, was going to get him.
Yeah.
And I would always mess with him. I'd be like, we got to go to the other end of the yard. No. We can go down here and get what we need. I'm like, no, we need these special cars. We have to go down to that. No, we can. I always try to make excuses to go down there. And he would almost refuse to go down there. He's like, no, we can go. So they would clean these box cars for the industry that loaded box cars. There was a outside company that cleaned the trash and crap out of them from where other people had used them before you. Mm-hmm. So there'd always be boxes and 2x4s and shit in there. So we had what we called the clean out track, where you would put cars that had come in, they would clean them, and then after they cleaned them, they'd be ready to take to the customer. Well, you had to go down to that ghost end of the yard to get the clean cars, the way we had to go to work the job. And he would go get dirty cars out of the other part of the yard just so he didn't have to go down there and he would piss the customer off, because they'd open these box cars and there'd be like pallets and plastic and straps and all this other crap in there. He hated to go down there so bad.
Yeah.
But he doesn't work with us anymore. Not because of that.
Yeah.
But he unfortunately he had a seizure and wrapped his truck around a tree and broke his back. But I mean, he didn't paralyze him or anything like that. He's fine now. But the job I have, if you have seizures, you can't do the job that I do.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of a liability.
Just a tad.
It made me think of another joke. He's insists may not come in again because this kind of has to somewhat do with what you were talking about in the truck. He thought he was going to get bumped. The job I work at, everything's about seniority. If somebody's got seniority on you and they need a job to go to, they can bump you off your job, and then you have to find another job to go to.
Yeah.
So he had not been out with the company very long, really. He just kind of lucked into that job because nobody else really wanted it. It was third shift. It was kind of a not so great job. So, but he was sure he was going to get bumped off the job because they were changing some stuff around on other jobs. So, I mean, I worked with this dude for like 2 weeks of him every night. Sad mouth. Oh, I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to do that. And finally, I said, man, you always got to look for the silver lining. He said, silver lining? How the hell is there a silver lining to this? I'm going to be bumped off this job and have to go do whatever he didn't want to go do. I'm like, well, you could always be in the back of a truck stop sucking dick for $20 a pop. He looked at me like, he totally, of course, didn't expect that. So He looked at me. It took him a second to process it. He looked at me and was like, yeah, I guess so. That would be worse, wouldn't it? I was like, see, you always had to look for the silver lining.
Yeah.
So I went to it. He got bumped back to Atlanta, and I was on a job in Atlanta the week this happened, and I was actually working in the yard in Atlanta, and he was taking a train out on the main line. And he saw me in the yard, and he flipped over to the yard channel on the radio, and he called my name. I said, hey, what's going on, man? He said, this is still better than the back of that truck stop, isn't it? I thought, and this dude was way younger than me. He was like barely 20, 21. I was like, well, see, I taught this young dude something. He has that, that life lesson now. At least I'm not in the back of a truck stop sucking dick for $20 a pop.
Yeah, there you go.
You were talking about people that just don't get it. Another guy that doesn't work with me anymore, he was one of those people that when he was training, you knew he wasn't going to get it. He actually qualified and worked the job, but even though he qualified and worked the job, he still didn't get it. And I was working with him one day, and we have lanterns, that the people on the ground use at night.
Okay.
Obviously, because you had to see it in the dark. So we were on a second shift job in the summertime that started at like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, here in the summer, it doesn't get dark till like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes, it's light for a long time. So we get on the engine at like 3:30 in the afternoon. So the tower talks to us. We're going to go do a move. And that dude says, this is when you know he's dumb, because even he knew he was dumb. He started his question with, I know this is a stupid question, but.
Yep.
And I already knew that. I mean, the dude was super nice, but I already knew his elevator didn't go all the way. I mean, he wasn't like an idiot, but when it came to this job, he was in over his head. So I thought, oh, this is going to be good. He said, when do I need to use my lantern? And I was like, do you mean like, what does we have a rule book this thick of all kinds of shit. I was like, I mean, do you mean what does the rule book say? Or when do I, what do I consider dusk or dawn? Or, because I think that's what it says. It's from dusk till dawn. You have to use it. But I'm like, what exactly do you mean? He's like, well, should I take it with me now? And I'm like, dude, it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, but I don't want to not have it with me when it gets dark. And I was like, what we're doing right now is literally going to take like at the most 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you'll be back to the engine before it gets dark. Considering it's not going to get dark for like 6 more hours.
Yeah.
And he said, so I should just leave it up here. And I mean, you can carry it around if you want to. I don't give a fuck. I'm not the one carrying it around. But yeah, I would leave it up here. And if it does somehow happen that you don't get back in 6 hours, just tell the tower, hey, I need to get to the engine and get my lantern. And they'll facilitate that. Oh, okay, man, I appreciate it. I appreciate you helping me out. And I'm like, okay, All I did was tell you that it doesn't get dark for 6 more hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is something that you should have already figured out by now.
Yeah.
This isn't even necessarily a job question. It's a, hey, it's summertime. It doesn't get dark till late. But yeah, this is the same guy that, you know how jobs are. I'm sure it's the same way with security. First time or two you work with somebody, y'all are just talking. You're like, hey man, what'd you do before you came to this job?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh man, I was a truck driver. I said, oh, that's cool. He said, yeah. And this is the funny part. He said, yeah, I always keep my CDL current as a backup just in case. And I started laughing and I was like, yeah, that's probably a pretty good idea. And everybody at work said that because they knew he was never going to get it.
Well, we had one, speaking of, I can tell a trickster. So we had a like a truck yard, and we had a guard there that would monitor the gate and monitor the reefers, yada yada yada. And so this idiot, there was this one Kenworth that would pull in every week. And because I was the head mobile for that area, I got to know him because I really liked his truck. It was a nice, beautiful Kenworth, custom flame job on the top, on the hood, just very, very nice truck. And I get a call that my idiot guard has backed a car and put a 53-foot trailer through the back window of the car. How in the hell his line when I got there of I didn't see it, I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, so that was his excuse. He didn't see the 53-foot trailer coming into the back window of the car before he put it through the window. The problem is that truck was what was connected to the trailer.
Oh.
So I get on site, I look at the truck, I notice that the car hasn't even touched the tractor, thankfully. It's only got the trailer through the back window. And I look up and I see the driver. And he's basically pacing in the little area that they have for the truckers that's overlooking the dock. And he's just pacing. Looking and pacing. And our field manager arrives on site, and I'm like, yeah, get him off site now. Why? Because we don't want him going in there. Just take him to Tim's, whatever. Just get him out of here. I got to go in and talk to the trucker. So I got in, and he looks at me, he says, Rob, just tell me he didn't touch my truck. He didn't touch your truck.
Oh, okay. So he knew there had been a collision. He just didn't know what the car had collided with.
Yeah.
So that's why he was pacing, because he didn't know yet if his truck had been wiped out or not.
Yeah, he didn't know if he had scratched the $3,000 paint job on his truck or not, and if the security guard was going to live through the evening.
JP wants to know if it was a yellow Kenworth with flames.
No, blue.
And DJ also said now he knows why where truckers are giving knob jobs.
Well, if you want to get technical, most places, let's see, there's Optimus Park, there's Westview Park.
we all you spend a lot of time at work. It seems like you have more work stories than other stories. I'm always like that. I'm like, oh yeah, I worked with a guy that his cousin, a town kind of next over from mine. We have some jobs over there, and I was working on a job over there, and he was working with me. We got to talking one day, and there's a joke that there's a levee over there on the river, and that was apparently like a hot spot for dudes to hook up or meet each other for cup of coffee and a handshake or whatever they're meeting each other for. But there's also a hospital right there.
Oh, lovely.
Like right just before that. You can walk from the hospital to the levee. That's just what everybody calls it, the levee. And so his cousin's wife was in labor, but it's one of those labors where she's in labor a long time. They're like, oh yeah, this is going to take a while. So he goes out, oh, I'm going to go get something to eat or whatever. So, no pun intended. So, next thing you know, he gets caught in an undercover sting operation at the levee, offering services to an undercover cop.
Oh, lovely.
And gets taken to jail while his wife's in labor at the hospital that you can pretty much see from where the levee is. And you want to know what his defense was? I'm sure you'll understand. This sounds exactly like, hey, can I do whatever to you? Or will you do whatever to me? He says that he asked the person, did they know what time it was?
Okay.
I mean, I know those sound very similar. You have to be really careful if you ask somebody what time it is, because
apparently
it sounds a lot like, hey, can I do whatever to you, or will you do whatever to me?
Yeah, apparently.
And you may or may not get arrested by an undercover cop because they think you're
down there than they're not up here, apparently.
Apparently it was, do you know what time it'll be when I can do whatever, is maybe what he said. I don't know. But that was his excuse.
Yeah, I think the worst one, and I can actually say this because I know there's no way in hell my family will ever listen to this. But anyway, there was one time I was talking to my aunt while I was doing my mobile patrol, and I had her on speaker, and I was doing the patrol of Brookside, and I got to the back where, we'll say, younger teens like to park their car because it's dirt road and then goes off to
like a
military gate,
like a makeout spot.
Yeah,
a lover's lane, as they used to call it.
Yeah. So I'm pulling around right by there, and I recognize the car that's parked there. It's my cousin, who happens to be the aunt's daughter that I'm talking to, and her car is sitting there. So yeah, that was fun.
Then you're talking to your aunt. Hey, what's so and so up to? Oh, she's just studying with a friend tonight.
Yeah, no, she's not.
Oh, she's sleeping over at Sally's house.
Hold on a second. I'm going to knock on the window. And go, your mom wants to say
hi. That'd be hilarious.
Oh, that was perfect. Yeah. I never heard the end of that for about 6 months.
Oh man. Yeah, that would be funny. So there's been a lot of argument and disagreement here because most of the states, is still locked down.
Yeah,
for the most part. But the glorious state of Georgia, the state which most people know is where I live, the same governor that took so long to lock the state down because he didn't understand that people could give the virus to people that were not showing symptoms yet. So apparently he doesn't know it takes time for symptoms to appear. That was his excuse when everybody's like, why didn't you close the state down? Then he finally did. And he's like, oh, my bad. I didn't realize that people that don't seem to be sick could actually be sick already.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. No, there's not an incubation period or anything. You look at it and it's like, oh, God, I'm fucking sick. So in his infinite, which I understand why he's doing it. He's trying to help the economy and help businesses. But it's kind of a bit early, I think, to start opening up situations where people are going to be in contact with people again. So like eating in restaurants, like a movie theater. I mean, okay, I like movies, but is it really worth it right now to go sit? I mean, now you're supposed to stay separated from each other and all that shit still. But you're still going to be in a closed area with people. And the very important ones, bowling alleys and tattoo shops, hairdressers and nail shops, because there's a lot of pissed off women apparently that don't look good because they've been locked in their house for all this time. And he's getting a lot of, even from the president, he got backlash, like specifically from the president. I mean, the president specifically called him out and was like, hey, you're an idiot. Don't do it. And he did it anyway. And then like within a couple of days, the rate of it in Georgia went up by like 1,000 people.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Somebody's not getting voted back in.
Well, and he had it out with the mayor of Atlanta. The mayor of Atlanta was wanting to do a shutdown, a citywide shutdown before the state did. And the governor of Georgia was pissed off. He told her, he's like, no, you don't need to shut anything down. Everything's good. You're jumping the gun. You don't need to shut anything down. You need to wait. So she's like, okay, I'll wait. She waited exactly like 24 hours. When she said she'd wait, what she didn't tell him was, I'll just wait till tomorrow to sign it. So it pissed him off. And then like a week later, he finally did like a statewide thing. And that's when his argument was, oh, my bad. I didn't realize that people can be sick and not look like they're sick. So that's what we're dealing with in this state specifically. There are more people venturing out and some people actually doing the things that are open now. But for the most part, most people are still kind of self-quarantining. And most businesses that can still, telework or whatever are doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. But to address JP, Birds Hill isn't the one that you had to watch. It was Little Mountain, which is closer to the city than Birds Hill, but on the same road.
What up, bro?
Hey, Sith.
You're roboting really bad. You're frozen and you're roboting really bad.
Am I still frozen?
Nope. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right.
Slow-mo movie. Oh, there we go.
I think you caught up.
Yeah, you caught up.
Yeah, you're good now.
Yeah, you were doing the same thing because I was watching you on my TV while I was doing my meds and stuff. It kept buffering, so it might be on my end. My roommate's in there streaming, so I don't know if it's going to affect me or not.
Yeah, it may just be an internet issue. That happened to me on one of my streams I was on one time. It was acting up, and I couldn't get my camera to work right. It kept freezing and stuff. Well, come to find out it's because my wife was in the basement 4K streaming Netflix. I was like, hey, could you at least go down in quality or quit streaming Netflix? Because I'm trying to live stream.
Yeah. What's going on?
You're frozen and roboting again. Maybe try turning your camera off and see if you at least get your audio straight.
What about now?
Yeah, you sound fine, but your picture's still froze.
Well, I turned my camera
off.
off.
Okay. It just took it a minute. It just took it a minute on my end. Okay, yeah.
It might, but also you got to stop and think about it. It might be StreamYard or YouTube also.
Yeah,
you don't know. Because I could always refresh and try coming back in.
If you want to be on cam, you can try that. If not,
well, wait a minute. Let me check something out real quick. It's after the first of the month. Windows updates and shit like that. I got an update, but it ain't downloading it. So I don't know.
Like good right now.
Yeah, the no camera thing has fixed your audio anyway.
No, we ain't got slow internet, so I don't understand. And I know she's not in there watching 4K because she's watching.
Now you're roboting again. You may want to close it out and try coming back in.
All right, I'll be back.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, JP. I should have done that. I should limit that TV when I'm streaming. She's better about it now. When I'm going to stream, she'll still stream stuff, but she won't stream like 4K. So I got pretty good internet. The 4K though kind of bogged it down because StreamYard uses a lot of data. I don't know if anybody notices that, but because I used to mod some from work. I was on a job where I just work like the first few hours and sit around a lot. So I'd take my laptop and tether to my phone and mod from work. Man, it uses a shit ton of data.
Yeah, that's why I do mine through like the actual internet connection instead of.
Well, I had unlimited internet. I just didn't realize it drew so much.
Yeah.
And when it was Hangouts, it didn't do that because I at that time I didn't take my laptop charger because if I had a fully charged laptop it would go for the whole show and I was fine. I'd still have some left. And before the show was over, my battery was dead on my laptop because it was just using so much resources, I guess, to use StreamYards instead of Hangouts.
Huh. Because I know with me, it's the opposite. With StreamYards, I can use easier than I can OBS.
I'm talking about when we used to use Hangouts to stream like we're doing with StreamYard straight to YouTube.
Oh, okay.
The old days before they quit letting Hangouts work with YouTube.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, using OBS into StreamYards does use a lot of computer resources. Yeah, 4K is sort of overrated. I mean, it takes something really good to be really good in 4K. Most of the time, 1080 is good enough.
Also depends on your TV, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you have to have a decent 4K TV. Sith may be doing a full restart.
Yeah, possible.
Which I don't know how long he's had his computer booted up, but that could also help, especially on Windows.
I'm still surprised your Windows box survived that night when you were trying to do it on your first Jackbox stream.
Well, I went in and only thing I ever use that box for is if I want to use my green screen or I want to do something like Jackbox where I want to use voice meter to pipe the audio through to StreamYards.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even have that Windows box. But there's not an easily achieved way of doing that in Linux that I've found so far. So, if there was, I would have never bought that Windows box. That's literally the only time it ever gets booted up is for that. And here lately, I haven't been using my green screen, so literally the only thing it gets booted up for is Jackbox, and that's just so I can use voice meter. But yeah, I turned all the updates off on it because that's what got me. Well, that's what got me for some reason that night. That's what started it was trying to update, and then it's like once that happened, it's like it threw a wrench at everything, and the games wouldn't load. Nothing was working right, so I had to reboot. And luckily, knock on wood, or pressed Norwegian fiberboard. Isn't that where IKEA is from? Or Sweden? They're from Sweden. Swedish pressed fiberboard. Since then, it hasn't been an issue. So
that's good.
But I normally now check a game before I go live. Which is probably a good idea.
Probably.
Because that day it's like all the games for some reason were screwed up. They either wouldn't load or you couldn't get them to start. So now before I ever go live or when I get everything first set up, get voice meter and everything set up, I start loading some games up before I go into StreamYards just to make sure the computer's going to cooperate.
Yeah, I was waiting for like a video of this Windows box going through a window. Somewhere.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I said I wouldn't even have the damn. That's why I just bought a cheap refurbished HP desktop because that's all I needed. I don't need like a. I'm running Pop OS on a custom built Linux box. I wish I could do everything on my Linux box because my Linux box is a beast as far as like processor and graphics and stuff. And the Windows box is just kind of a vanilla. I mean, it's like an i5 with 16 gigs of RAM. It's like a 2018 or something like that refurb. But I mean, it does just doing that streaming stuff. It's fine. But like video editing and all that stuff, I do on my Linux computer, which is built to handle that stuff really good.
Yeah.
It's actually overkill. It's one of those things. If you're going to build something, you want it to be kind of future proof, at least for a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which with computers, if you can get it to be future proof for even 5 or 6 years, if you're going to spend a bunch of money, that's pretty good. So
yeah, well, if you can get it future proof for about 6 months, you're doing good.
Yeah, because 6 months is like 2 years in technology. It seems like sometimes, but
I got the brand new one, top of the line, and then they brought the one from the back. Pretty much.
Pop OS is actually based off Ubuntu. So if you're familiar with Ubuntu, then Pop OS is built off of that, which a lot of the Linux distros are built off Ubuntu because it's the most popular Linux distribution. Yeah, I went with the smallest case. I had it custom built by a place that custom builds Linux computers. So they're made, specifically for that operating system. Or the way the hardware and everything is put together to work specifically with that operating system. So
gotcha.
They have 3 different size towers, and I went with the smallest tower. So I basically maxed out the smallest tower as far as like processor. I went kind of mid range, I think, with the video card, but it's still like a really powerful video card. And I maxed the processor out and maxed the RAM out. So it's running stuff, doing like what we're doing. The computer basically is idling. It's not doing it much of anything. If you look at like a system monitor. Yeah, it's not doing much of anything.
It's not being put through its paces.
No, even doing stuff like video editing, it's not really trying that hard. You see, it's not doing much.
No.
The memories, I got 31 point whatever. I got 32 gigs of memory. It's barely using any memory. And you see the cores of the processor not doing much of anything. And it for the most part always looks like that. Sometimes it'll spike, the processor will spike a little bit. Like video editing or something like that.
Whereas mine's probably redlining right now because it's a piece of junk.
Well, and I'll pull that same program up on that Windows box. I mean, it's not maxed out for streaming, but if I was doing anything much more than streaming, it would be. And Windows just generally seems like it uses more RAM.
Yeah.
Than like Linux does, because it seems that way anyway. And Chrome, even just the Chrome browser doesn't have the best record for being kind to your RAM.
No, it definitely doesn't.
Have a good radio show, DJ.
Have a good one, DJ.
Sith may be in the other room beating his roommate to death for using too much internet.
We'll never tell.
Yeah. He'll come back on with a crazed look on his face and like blood dripping down his cheek. He's like, well, I got that solved. Like, we'll never talk about this again.
We don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The only problem is like with StreamYards is if you went and switched to Firefox instead of Chrome, you can't share audio in StreamYard.
Yeah. Yeah, because they specifically built StreamYard to work with Chrome.
Yeah.
Which I can see the reason for doing that, I guess, to help concentrate on one specific system for working the bugs out, because Chrome is still the most popular browser. So, and instead of worrying about, cross-platform, well, does it work with this browser? Does it work with this browser? Does it work with this browser? You can just say, hey, everybody, it works with Chrome, period.
Yeah.
If you use it with something else and it doesn't work right, guess what? We told you it works with Chrome, so don't bitch at us.
Yeah, exactly. We gave you the headline. It's not our fault you did not listen.
I saw a funny meme that back when it was still called, Internet Explorer, I saw a funny meme of like the little Internet Explorer logo, like with arms and legs. And it said, what is my purpose in life? And then the next thing said, your purpose in life is to install the Chrome browser.
Here we go. Okay. So since I don't have that, I should be able to do this. Okay. So in private chat, I'm gonna post. Oh, it won't let me. You bastard. Oh well. I know. I'll send it to you on Twitter.
Okay.
It's a meme I saw today on Facebook, and it made me laugh hysterically. Brings things around to the sci-fi world.
So in Canada, have they been talking about the murder hornets?
Not really.
That's one of the latest things here. I guess everybody's bored because they're stuck at home. So now the big thing here is everybody's talking about, oh, you thought COVID was bad. Wait for the murder hornets.
Yeah, they're more worried about things like when is hockey starting again, and yeah, stuff like that. But yeah, no, it's been. I mean, for the most part, it's just people trying to get back to somewhat normal.
Yeah, which I could never self-quarantine. So, I mean, my life, other than not being able to go like to restaurants and stuff or bars, my life has pretty much been the same as it always is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because the only thing that actually has been good for me is there hasn't been traffic. It's funny.
Yeah, pretty much. But no, it's once, like, I think we probably lost a few people because they're bored out of their minds because a lot of people like to do the old mall hangouts and all the malls closed, so yeah. their social lives went right to hell.
There we go. That is funny. Yeah, I'll explain it to you later. Yeah, just don't worry about it. I'll explain it to you later. You'll figure it out. Sith, you're back.
Yeah, that was funny.
Dig 3 graves over there. I'll explain it to you later.
Yeah, do that little update, scan my computer real quick, restarted it, and all that good nasty shit. Even check my speed. I'm taking about anywhere between 30 and 35 with an upload of about 12. So it shouldn't be an internet issue. I think it's something else.
It could be that StreamYards or YouTube just doesn't like you today.
Well, I wouldn't doubt.
Yeah, we We can barely even pick up what you're saying. You're roboting out and then cutting out.
Just strange because it shouldn't. Because on my end, the ring around my avatar lights up, and on my end, it's picking up every word I say.
You sound better now, but a minute ago you didn't.
We'll see.
Oh, there you go.
Man, my computer is like just like. It's like, motherfucker, let me wake up before you start doing this crazy shit. I'll show you.
DJ must have sabotaged it.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and blame DJ because all the Joloja,
Yeah.
All the Joloja talk. When I play Jackbox games on my channel, there's way less talk of Bird of Prey 5 or Joloja. I've noticed that. People still talk shit about DJ and DJ the Furry and all this other stuff, but every other answer isn't Bird of Prey 5 or Joloja.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's the truth because the last Jackbox stream Han had, I was on the physical panel like we are now, and I put in one of the things on, I think it was Quiplash. I put Bird of Prey 5. Nobody got it.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a specifically DJ Odyssey Star Trek side of things.
Yeah. But I just if you don't know Bird and you wouldn't have got it. Seriously, you wouldn't have got it. And I said, what the hell? Let me give it a shot. See if anybody picks up on it. And Han was the only one to get it. I'm like, all right, maybe I won't do that no more.
Yeah, because it's mostly comics. Yeah, it's mostly Comicsgate and Phantom Menace people on that. Where on DJs, it's mostly seems like Star Trek people.
Hey, Han, did you back Peregrine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I backed it as soon as it went live. I was number 5, I think. Or no, maybe that was Rocket Gal. I was number 5.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I backed Peregrine too. I forget what number. I was 111 or something like that. Not that it mattered.
Yeah.
I backed him.
The other night when I said Mandy had a stream, it was Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Right before the stream ended, I said, "Fuck it."
It's gonna be a good book.
I like the way the book looked.
Yeah, it was Mole Man or Rocket Gal that I was there for the actual live launch, and I backed it as soon as it went live, and I was like number 5. Peregrine, I wasn't there for the actual launch, but I backed it as soon as I knew it went live.
Yeah, I also saw that on one of them books they were offering a drawn-in tier also. I was like, fuck, I just can't afford that shit. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of books that'll do that, but it's really expensive, and it's only for that book. Whereas Mandy did hers to where you're there for the rest of the books, as long as she does that series, that character series.
Yeah, and on the closeout stream, man, Peter even spoke up. No, who was it? It was either Peter or Mandy, one or the other, said that they're doing the artwork for us next go around. No, one of them said that, but Peter is doing it. I asked Peter, I said, all right, man, draw me up, dude. He goes, you got it. So I can't wait to see what the next issue is going to look like, if there is one, depending on what Mandy's doing.
Well, yeah, she's already got Wart 2 started, from what I understand. Obviously now she's finishing the last few dotting the I's and crossing the T's to send Wart to the printer. But there's definitely, as far as I understand, there's definitely going to be a Wart 2, and it's already in the works. So,
okay. Cool.
And it's supposed to drop, from my understanding, it's supposed to drop sometime this year.
What, Wart 2?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Considering Wart, blah, 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 blah. Considering the first book is taking forever to get out.
Well, she may mean
we're not even going to see physical copies until next month.
She may mean the campaign's going to start this year.
Oh,
Like Wart, Wart started last year and rolled over into this year. Have a good night, JP. Appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, man, it's great seeing you as always.
Yeah, so she may mean that it's just going to go out for campaign and this year, and it also she did In Demand a long time. That's when she really bumped her money up. So she stayed in demand a long time because some campaigns don't even go in demand. It's hey, you buy it between now and then, or you don't buy it.
I'm a sweet talker. I'm gonna try to anyway. When Wart 2 goes live, I was like, Mandy, can I have a copy since I'm already in the book?
Oh, you gotta give her some more money, but you gotta at least buy the book. It's not like $20, $30.
Well, I know. I'm saying. I'm not. I can't physically afford to back a high tier anymore. But I'm always threatening her. I'm always threatening her because if you've seen her new background, I'm always hiding behind her couch now.
Yeah. But I mean, there's not going to be another drawing in tier, so you've already backed the high tier. Right. So from now on, all you have to do if you want a copy is just back the basically I get a book. Well,
I was just looking at the logic.
Are you still with us, Seth? Rob, are you still with us?
Oh yeah, I'm still here.
Yes, this Seth is totally cut out.
Oh. Yeah, I got a little pop up there on.
It's too much porn.
Nothing open but Twitter, StreamYard, and I popped out the chat. And for my computer, it shouldn't even be. It should be like your Linux box. It should be idle for what I got in this thing.
Something isn't happy today.
Yeah, I know. But we'll see as the day goes on and see if other streams are having similar problems. But it ain't just me, damn it. You ain't blaming this shit on me.
No, we've already decided it's all DJ's fault. Oh,
yeah.
Hold on a second.
It's best to blame DJ because he's not here to take up for himself. He left.
Yeah, I know. It's always DJ's fault. We'll give him that.
He probably got some onesie stuff on it. Messed it up. It's probably some of DJ's special onesie lube. So when you're trying to get real tight onesies.
That don't even sound great, man. Some of his onesie stuff is like, what's coming out of his onesies? Besides him.
Oh, that's worse than Knob Job Hill.
Yeah, I was listening to that shit, and that's all right. And I know you probably seen it in the chat, but you were telling that story, Rob. And it's just after the one I walked in on, and then you started, and the next thing you say is, "Yeah, I was the head mobile." That ain't good, man. That ain't good, man.
Technically, I'm sec. I was mobile 2. Mobile 1, it was a different person at that point.
No, but I put it in quotes, man. It's like, what are you, the mobile head giver or something?
No, he just knew all the mobile spots to get and or receive head. So he was like a tour guide. If you're ever in town, you're like, "Hey, Rob, I'm in town for a couple days. Have a rental car. Where could I go give and or receive some head from a man and or a woman?"
Well, no, come on. Hey, I need a good Canadian, eh?
Oh God! Well, it mainly comes out of the fact that I had to kick them out of those spots every night. Although the worst one I ever had was out at Optimus Park, because the park ends and then it's Summit Landfill, which is a landfill that's only used by the city because they only dump like concrete and building material. Yeah, probably building materials, and it's only used by the city, so it's not a public dump. But they have the main access gate open during the day so that the city trucks can just go in and out all day long. So at night, we have to go back and lock it. So this idiot goes and parks his Jeep just on the inside of my gate. If he's on the outside of my gate, I don't have to worry because I can just lock the gate, drive away, don't care. It's a public road. I don't give a damn what you do over there. But no, the idiot parks inside my gate. So I got to go over and tell the idiot to get lost. So on a general rule, what happens is you knock on the window, they roll the window down just enough so you can hear them. They go, "What do you want?" You say, "I'm security. I'm locking the gate. Get the fuck out of here." And then they start their car and they leave. Not this idiot. So knock on the window. He opens the car, the Jeep door, wide as it can go. Interior lights come on. Poor woman can't be any older than 18, sitting in the back seat, nothing but her underwear on, topless. And he decides to talk about the weather and everything, including how the Bombers are doing this season, as she's turning redder, white.
Well, okay, all right,
back
cool.
to red.
Well, cool, but the one question I have is, was she at least attractive?
Oh, yes.
Well, then, fucking hey, just have the conversation with him.
But I guarantee you he was single by the end of the evening.
Yeah. Or if that was a first date, there was not a second date.
There was not a second one. I guarantee that one.
She's like, you got really lucky on the first date, and you had to go fuck it up, didn't you?
No, yeah, pretty much.
Never call me again.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, he just stood there for 20 minutes, car door open, just talking about everything under the sun, trying to act all cool and call.
Whoa, wait a minute. Was the schlong hanging out?
No. He had fixed himself up fast enough and then jumped into the driver's seat, and then he just left the door open, and it's like, I'm trying to, give him grace and end the conversation. Okay, I just need you to move your. Oh yeah. So what did you think about the Bombers this year? And it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, moron. Just shut the fucking door and get your fucking out of my way. Yeah.
Luckily, I don't have those stories like that, except for one memorable one. Back when I was 18, 19 years old. I used to work on a tugboat. I was a deckhand on a tugboat. And where I live at in town, every year they always do the 4th of July. The companies that come down, they set up the fireworks displays on barges. So one year we got a job down at Ormond Beach, down in South Florida. Well, south from me anyway. It's
around Daytona.
Around Daytona. And we had to take an empty barge down there so we can set up a fireworks display. Well, we're sitting in the wheelhouse waiting for the guys down there. It's hot outside. A couple guys and this woman, not a woman now. Came right by and it's her bikini top. Yeah, Lauren. That's the best story I got. And she was well endowed too, so it was even better.
Oh, there you go.
But I wish I had my brother-in-law with me. He's got dozens upon Uber stories.
Yeah, and then the worst one that came out of Summit Landfill was I pulled in and I did the patrol of the landfill, and some jackass had, I guess, stolen a Jaguar, the mint version. So like early 80s, maybe late 70s version of the Jag.
Right.
Parked it in Summit Landfill and then torched the car.
That was an insurance claim.
Just like, oh my God, why would you do that to that car? As a car guy, that hurt. It's just like,
oh yeah, my roommate is the same way, man. He is, for a lack of a better word, anal about vehicles. Meaning you could sit there and literally start a full-blown conversation about taking a shit. It will turn into a car conversation.
Yeah. But no, as a car guy, seeing that Jag all burnt up it's just wrong. It's just wrong.
So how's the Bloody Marys today? Mike, Han, Joe, Joseph, Sean.
You sound like my dad.
I'll get your fucking name right in a minute. Eh?
You sound like my dad. He'll start with the wrong boy's name and just go through like all of my brothers until finally he gets to your name or he just gives up and he's like, you know who the fuck I'm talking to.
Yeah, it's just like I said, Joe, Joseph, Aaron, Eric. What? Don't you lie to me because you live here, and I will find out who you are.
He gets that from my grandma. She was the same way. She had 5 sons, and as she got older, she would do the same thing. She'd go to talk to like my dad, and she would not get his name right, and she'd go through like all their names, and finally be like, you're the only one here. You know who the fuck I'm talking to.
And it never fails. It never failed. Every time we would go to my in-laws' house, Tammy's parents.
Fuck that bitch, Tammy.
Fuck that bitch, Tammy. But anyway, every time we would go to her parents' house, her mom would always call me her ex-husband. Always.
So either she didn't like you or she liked you too much.
Yeah, every time she says, hey, Billy, I'm like, I'm not Billy. Do I look like him? Do I act like him? Do I sound like him? No, I'm not Billy. She goes, I'm sorry, it's habit. 20 years later, it's still fucking habit. I could go to her house right now. She'd call me fucking Billy. I think it was just something to piss me off. I don't know.
No problem.
It sounds like it did. So it sounds like if that's what she was going for, it worked.
Well, early on, I could understand the mistake because it was a recent change. But after 20 years, you still can't get it right. Something wrong with you, lady.
All I know is as long as my mom and dad did not refer to me as my full name, I was good.
Oh, yeah, it's like that. I think that's like that everywhere. If your middle name ever comes out, you're fucked.
Exactly. Every time I heard my middle name, I'm like, I'm about to get it.
Yeah, you hear your full name. There is nothing that will stop an adolescent or a child faster than your full name being said in any tone. It doesn't matter if your full name is being said.
You stop in your tracks. You're like, oh fuck.
I fucked it up, man.
Then you start taking into account. Okay, what am I doing? What have I done wrong? What am I getting ready to get my ass beat for?
What could they have figured out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was hard for me to tell, man. You look at my dad, and most of the time he kept this emotionless face on him. So you never knew.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, am I about to get a stern talking to? Is he about to jump out of his chair and kick my ass?
Good times when your parents could beat you and not go to jail.
The funny part about it was my dad and my mom never had to. My mom had this look that I think you'd almost prefer the beating, because by the time she was done talking and by the time she was done giving you that look, you felt like you just walked through like a gauntlet match with like
Yeah, I didn't get whooped much. I was kind of the same way. I figured out pretty early that my parents meant business. So if they got to a point, it's like, okay, I better stop while I'm ahead.
I missed most of that because I lost connection for a moment. Huh.
Yeah, it sounds like there's something wonky on your side. Maybe you need to restart your router. That a lot of times that'll also solve your problems, because even me, I'll have connection issues sometimes, and even if I just restart my router, it'll help. It's kind of like a Windows computer. You need to restart your router every now and then.
But yeah, no, my mom had a oh.
Hello, JJ. Oh, he muted his mic.
All right.
I can hear you right now.
I keep getting a pop-up as far as StreamYards go. Hey, you have a connection issue. And even in the physical live chat, is this chat disconnected? Okay, successfully connected. And there's something going on.
Sounds like you need to restart your router.
I just did not 2 nights ago. I do it once a week. I think the actual modem itself, the modem in the house needs to be restarted, but I'm not about to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to restart your modem too, yeah.
Even though it's Comcast, I do it, on a random basis.
So mine are together. My router and modem are all in one. So when I say restart my router, I restart the whole thing at the same time because it's all in one. But
well, that's the same way here. But the way we're the router is 2 rooms away. I've got it, and I got my own router and my internet connection. I'm just modem. That way, I don't have to worry about signal degrade. I got my own wireless IP. I got everything else. Hey, what's up, Drew? How you doing, man?
My chat StreamYard, lags behind. I'll see him in a second.
Yeah, not Supreme Heretic, Mr. E.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my chat hadn't caught up yet. No. But hello, Drew. I'll see you in a second or a minute, depending on how long it takes for StreamYards to catch up.
Yeah, I just met him a couple nights ago on one of the other Drew, Supreme Heretic stream.
Ah, there he goes. Good
there
to see
he
you,
is.
Drew. Appreciate you showing up for some support and smashing the like button. We've covered no topics in particular, but a myriad of topics today. We've talked about tugboats, routers, titties, places around Canada where Canuck goes to get and or give head.
No. Where I used to kick people out for doing it. Very different distinction.
Okay, maybe I was vaguely describing that.
Well, Sith was, a lead hand on a tugboat, so you never know.
No, I wasn't. Nope. I was many things. I was a. It's called a deckhand.
Yeah, deckhand on a tugboat.
Not a dickhand, a deckhand. I was an engineer. I was a cook. Hell, I could even run the boat. Okay, but no. There was no head given anywhere. No head name of anywhere. No. Unlike the head mobile.
I actually watched a documentary not long ago. You may like Sith. I'm pretty sure it was on Amazon Prime, called Barge, and it was about people that work on barge crews that take the barges like down the Mississippi River.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you what I did compared to what those guys on the Mississippi do. No, I couldn't do that, man. That to me, just being a deckhand doing something like that, because them boats push a lot of barges at once. We only dealt with one. The most I've ever dealt with is two, and that was a headache. That was a headache.
Yeah, this was the big, massive sets of multiple barges of all kinds of shit. And they stopped in between. They went from like somewhere in Mississippi or somewhere to New Orleans.
Yeah,
and along the way they like dropped off and picked up barges.
Yes.
And then did a swap in New Orleans, and then on the way back dropped off and picked up barges again until they got back to like their home port, which was I want to say it was somewhere in Mississippi.
Now, the best job I ever did as far as a tugboat goes, the company I worked for had a contract with NASA. And once a month, we would go down to Cape Canaveral, us and another boat. One would strap to the front with a tow strap, and the other one would wire up to the back like pushing a barge.
Sorry, that's really funny.
I couldn't get it out, could
I? I'm sorry.
I could not get it out, could I?
Well, it just popped up, and it was really funny because you were talking about I wasn't the dick hand. I was a dick hand. He's like, is it a real tugboat or is that a double entendre? Okay, I'm sorry, Seth. Go on your story. 2 boats would hook up for NASA, one on each end. I think is what you were saying.
Anyway, and on this barge,
sorry,
anybody that's ever seen the space shuttle go up, what was on this barge was the big orange fuel cell.
Okay,
yeah, like the big middle gas tank.
The middle piece, yes. And they literally let us on the barge to look at this thing one time, and I ran my hand down it, and it's like a hard styrofoam.
Uh-oh. Han's been broken.
No more for you, man.
No, I'm just with the whole conversation we've been having, and then you're like, they literally, I put my hand on it. It was rubbed my hand down, and it was hard styrofoam. I was like, yeah, you left styrofoam out too much. You should have said like I touched it, and it was hard. I touched the fuel cell, and it was hard styrofoam.
That's what I was trying to do, but the moment the word hard came out of my mouth, you lost it. So it's.
I'm sorry.
Maybe I need to use my English a little better.
My mind is, my third Bloody Mary and my mind's already in the gutter on this stream. This has been like the gutter Lover's Lane stream.
What the hell, dude? You don't need to be drinking nothing, man. Your mind already dips in there anyway.
I'm sorry. You got to touch the fuel cell and it was hard styrofoam.
Exactly. That's all I needed to say.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I ruined your story.
It's all good.
It made it about jacking off or hand jobs.
Wow, man. Jacking off.
Damn, there's a helicopter that's flying really low.
Yeah, I heard that.
It's like rumbling my desk.
As they land in your backyard.
Yeah, I was gonna say they may be coming to, they may be coming to get me. They may have traced the signal. Has anybody watched The Midnight Gospel on Netflix?
No.
That is the strangest fucking thing I've ever watched. Captain Trek, what's up, Captain Trek? Yeah, you walked in on a stream where there's been lots of talk about head and hand jobs and boobs and yeah, you may like it, Seth. If you got, I think whoever made it was stoned and or tripping balls on acid, because the whole thing is like really super weird and fucked up. It's like this guy that had like podcast conversations with people, and then somebody animated it. So a lot of it's talking about like meditation and spirituality and all this other shit, and some of it's talking about like death and all these other things. But the animation that goes along with it is like super acid trippy. Yeah, Canuck did start with the mobile head unit. Yeah,
I told a simple story and they twisted it.
Captain Trek knew right away who it was that started in on that route. Yes, it was Canuck.
Yeah. Rob did it. He's responsible. Just
And
take
Sith showed up late to the show, and unfortunately now he's having to deal with the fact that the show started with that. So,
where am I tonight?
if you're really tripping balls one night, Sith, watch the Midnight Gospel on Netflix. It'll fucking trip you out.
What kind of show is it?
It's an animated show.
Oh, okay.
But it's like I said, it's like I forget the guy's name, but it's this guy that does a podcast, and it's like where he's interviewed people about like he does a podcast talking a lot about like meditation and stuff like that, and stuff like that,
Okay.
and different ways of thinking about things, like spiritually or in meditation ways or whatever, and somebody that has taken his podcast and like animated it.
Okay.
But it's not like them just sitting there talking. It's like a whole story, like a cartoon episode that goes along with it. That's fucking trippy as fuck. I wasn't even on anything, and I watched it and felt like I was tripping balls. It's that weird. So you and your roommates, if you get like super baked one day, you and your roommates watch it, it'll probably trip you out.
Well, me and the one roommate might check it out. The other one, if it ain't YouTube, he don't watch
it. Yeah, it's super out there.
I'll tell you a show I like on Netflix, man, and I watched quite a bit of it. And if you're not a Seinfeld fan, I don't think you'd like it. But it's called Getting Coffee with Comedians and Cars.
I know. I think I've watched an episode or two.
I've heard about it, but I haven't watched it.
Dude, you ought to watch it, man. There's one in there. I can't remember which season it's in, but there's one in there. It's the longest episode that I found in there, man. Him and Eddie Murphy get together, and it's an actually good show, man. They just go and BS. He picks them up in random vehicles, and they go get coffee, get some food, walk around, go into local shops or wherever they're at. Just acting like normal, everyday people, man. Telling stories about their career. It's
not to interrupt you, but Drew. No, he wasn't necessarily talking about prostitutes. He was a mobile security unit, and he was talking about how he would run people out of parks and stuff that were like giving each other head.
Yeah.
So we turned it into mobile head unit.
And technically, the lead car is the field manager, because they get to deal with all the stupid guards booking off at 12 o'clock midnight, and because our company was nice, it was up to the guy in the car to call everybody and fill the shift.
Dave M, what's up, brother? He says in the chat, he just popped up and says, usually you guys are talking about ships going down.
Yeah, we're talking about something different going down today. As I said, I've been on hiatus for 2 or 3 weeks, but even the last show before I went on hiatus, we just did a kind of general hangout like this because we did notice that we got to get a lot of comments of, "Oh, I show up and y'all are talking about fucking boats again." So kind of talked. We're like, maybe we should quit talking about boats for a while.
Yeah, and then you said let's do airships because that's different.
Yeah. I mean, it's a flying boat. It's all right.
Let's do the Hindenburg.
That's a ship. At least it's not a water boat. It's an airboat.
Yeah.
Airship. Good to see you, David. I appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, we're kind of just having a crazy hangout. I'm not cooped up at home. I'm on my off days, but
although I did find out something really interesting about the Olympic that we didn't even cover.
Sorry to interrupt you for a second. Drew, aka Mr. E, appreciate you stopping by, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, take care, Drew.
Yeah, have a good one, Drew. But I did find out something interesting about the Olympic that we didn't cover, and I don't know how the hell we didn't. And I don't know how the hell I didn't even know that this happened. But the Olympics sunk a submarine in World War I.
Really?
Yeah, it rammed it.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
Yeah,
Unknowingly, I take it.
and it was actually a true story that they had saw the periscope, and because the Olympic was a troop ship, it started opening fire on the sub. The sub went to submerge, and the captain went, "F it," put the Olympic at full speed, and tore the whole back section right behind the conning tower right off the submarine and sunk it.
Took the whole propulsion unit off of it.
Just took the whole top portion of the right behind the conning tower.
Basically, basically broke it in half for the
pretty
most
much.
part.
Nice.
You said that was in World War One?
Yeah, World War One. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I in the bit of research I did, I never saw that either.
Yeah, neither did I. And then I was watching one of my World War II channels where they talk about ships, and that question got asked, was this true? And he's like, yes, it is actually true, and they got a citation for doing it.
It's funny how it's for some reason left out of like the mainstream information about it.
Yeah,
because you would think that would be something that's in there.
Yeah, the Olympic rammed the sub. Completely, like, because they were in the middle of diving, and most of the people survived the submarine that were in the sub because they were just getting below. The Olympic hits it.
Okay, so they were still shallow enough that they could get out.
They blew the tanks, got up, and then just abandoned ship, and the sub went down. But yeah, it was if they had hit it dead on without the sub going under, it would have split it in half.
So they basically used their keel to take a big chunk out of it.
Yeah.
But they were shallow enough they were able to pop back up and abandon ship.
Yeah.
Did the Olympic pick them up?
Yeah.
I was gonna say I would imagine they did, and take them as prisoners. It was a troop ship, so I would guess they took them as prisoner or something.
Yeah, but no. Apparently, the American soldiers that were on board were very, very pleased and presented the Olympic and crew with a citation for doing it.
Now there's a Sith Lord on the stream, and there's another Sith Lord in the back room. That's kind of weird. Hello, two Sith Lords.
Yeah, I figured I'd go and have a stream with myself.
Did the other one freeze up or something? I'm assuming.
No, StreamYard just stopped. It completely.
Oh, there it went. It's disappeared
StreamYard
now.
Stopped, dude. I had to completely come back in. It was like refreshing the page.
You're having massive StreamYard issues for some reason today, and connection issues. Because Rob and I haven't had any issues, so it's something. I'm assuming it's something on your side. Or it just doesn't like you today for some reason. Today is your day to be StreamYard's bitch. And we may have lost him again.
StreamYard does not like you today.
Yeah. I believe we lost him again.
And Captain Trek, just remember, you have 2 streams with me. So keep chirping, buddy boy.
Yeah, now he's totally disappeared. So I think he needs to go restart his modem. We don't really have a topic today, Captain Trek. We're just kind of talking about whatever. This is just kind of a general BS hangout. A lot of us have, other than me, a lot of us have been shut in for a while now, and we're just kind of hanging out and talking about whatever. If you're available, Captain Trek, we're going to go like 30 more minutes. I'll send you the link for this stream.
I got it.
If you want to jump on here, Captain Trek, you can. Like I said, this is just a general BS stream. We don't really have a
check your Discord.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to jump in, man. This is just a general hangout conversation. We've just been talking about whatever, just some buds getting together, hanging out while I drink Bloody Marys, and we talk about whatever topics that have kind of went in the gutter this time for some reason, but
This
it's all
time?
good. It's all good. Sith was talking about Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld's got a new welcome, Captain Trek.
Thank you. I've never actually had the pleasure of speaking with you.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you're welcome to be here. So this is just we'll probably go another 30 minutes. So you're welcome to hang out with us. We're just having a general BS session.
Yeah, Captain Trek's my wingman on my karaoke Saturdays and on Enterprise Wednesdays.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he's a pain in the ass.
You are Canuck.
Canuck.
Are you talking about yourself in the first person, or are you talking about Canuck?
Column A, column B.
I'm talking about Canuck.
Uh-huh.
So how are things your way, Captain Trek, with the lockdown and everything?
Well, considering I haven't left my house except for medical reasons for about a year, things are pretty normal here.
So it's just old hand for you.
Yeah.
Have they started opening anything back up, like around where you live?
Yeah, they have. It's been, like the small businesses, they'll have, set a limit on the number of people. General things that they've been doing all over.
That's okay. Captain Trek, I just come up with a brilliant idea. I was reading some of your comments in the chat, and I just thought of a brilliant idea.
What?
I think this Monday I'm going to be sick, and I'll get you to take my place.
You're out of your mind.
I'll suddenly come down with the flu, and you can step in for me.
Oh, I'd step in for you.
I promise. It's on my channel. Oh, I can hide in the back. That's all good.
Yeah, you hide in the back. I'll take over, and yeah.
I'll do the producing.
Yeah, we'll just kill the show. Why not?
It's only YouTube. It'll be all right.
Yeah. A couple of fireworks. No big deal.
Either that or it'd be the most popular show. So, yay.
Yeah, and then you just take it over completely, and I can just, have Mondays off.
Fuel. Glad you made it, Fuel. Good to see you, bro.
Hey, how are you doing?
Okay, Sith's restarting his router.
And if all else fails, Sith, hit it with a hammer.
Yeah.
That fixes everything.
Yeah, it's been a while, Fuel. I've been kind of off the radar for a little while. It's been, I think, about 3 weeks since I've done one of these. Tommy, what's up, bro? Good to see you, Tommy.
So what have you been doing when you've been off here?
I've been dealing a lot with my in-laws. Their house got hit by a tornado. Ooh. So I've been dealing with them, helping them clean stuff up, and I've been working at the same time. So
yeah,
I've been getting up at like 5 a.m. to go work, and then getting off at like 3 or 4 in the afternoon, then driving like 2 hours to their house to help them, then turn around and drive an hour back to my house from their house, so I could be up at 5 a.m. again.
But thankfully, no one was hurt. Just
yeah, nobody in their house was hurt. It just fucked their house up. But yeah, some of their neighbors definitely weren't as lucky.
That is fortunate, at least for you.
There was last I heard, there's 9 people killed in their neighborhood.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And the tornado, if you looked at their front door, the tornado went just to the right of their house. So it like went through their neighbor's house and it totally obliterated it. It went through across the street and totally obliterated that one. They had a lot of damage, but not anything like their neighbors did.
Yeah, well, I mean, throwing all that debris is going to cause damage anyhow.
Yeah, it messed their roof up pretty bad, and it launched. They took it out. I never asked them. I don't know what it was, but it launched something through the wall of their laundry room about the size of a bowling ball.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if it was a tree branch or what it was, but something went through the wall of their laundry room. So they got like a big hole the size of a bowling ball in one side of their house, and their roof's all fucked up. But all things considered, they got off super light compared to people, I mean, just an eye shot from them.
See, and that's why I've never understood these people that will like tie themselves to a tree during a hurricane or whatever, just so they can say they survived it or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's not the fact that the wind is blowing; it's what the wind is blowing that you have to worry about.
Yeah, because I mean, if a stop sign comes flying by, it could decapitate you.
Yeah, or
a
Volvo,
a 2x4. A 2x4 could go through your body.
Or a Volvo.
Yeah. It did blow all. It blew all their trees down too. That was a lot of work we had to do. Is most all their trees were down, so we had to cut through all kinds of shit just to salvage other shit. But they're staying with my brother-in-law right now. They're making offers. They're gonna. I mean, the insurance company's gonna fix their house. They just don't want to live there anymore. So they're gonna rent it out. They're gonna rent their house out after the insurance company fix it, and they're gonna buy a different house. Seth, are you really back?
This shit is really starting to piss me the fuck right off.
You sound good right now.
Hit it with a hammer.
I'm about to, really.
Take the old wrench to it.
I mean, I don't want to jinx you, but right now you sound great.
I don't want to jinx you.
I got one right here.
And your video's working right now. I think you may have at least temporarily fixed the problem for now.
Yeah.
Well, never mind.
Yeah, you went and said, I don't want to jinx you, and then you jinxed him.
And then you jinxed him, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Captain Trek move.
Oh, you're funny.
What's going on, Captain?
Oh, not too much. What's going on with you?
I'm having internet issues, man. I'm just having a wonderful day.
So I guess Rob now wants to have 2 Enterprise episodes this week.
Didn't we already decide that? Because I want to get through this damn season 1 already.
Oh.
Y'all doing like a watch party somewhere?
Yeah, every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central, my channel.
You got a channel?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. I didn't know that.
And
you
also...
didn't know that Canuck had a channel?
Also, we have karaoke Saturdays, so...
Oh, hell. Let me go check this so-called channel out.
Internet has also been... Internet has also been killing Siths today.
Yeah, I could have woke up to something a lot better than what the fuck I got. Just put it that way.
Are you talking about the internet or the stories that we were telling?
Maybe a little bit of both. Okay, I subscribe.
Awesome. I'm up to 157.
Well, I like, honestly, you know, I know you ain't caring for it at the moment, but I actually like Enterprise, and I believe that, yeah, season 1 ain't the greatest in the world, but it starts laying out a lot of the foundations of what we know as far as Star Trek.
Yeah, well, right now it's just coasting, right? The problem with doing the review shows like Captain Trek and I have said on the stream is it's not so much that I don't like the show right now, other than that god awful theme, but the fact
both agree there.
The episodes are just there, right? There's nothing really to talk about. There's nothing really to complain about. They're just episodes, and they're just kind of coasting right at the moment. So,
well.
It's still better than Discovery. So
I mean, most.
Believe it or not, there are people out there. I'm talking about in our inner circle, as far as the pop culture world goes. There's people out there that literally think that Discovery is better than Enterprise. I know they're wrong in a lot of aspects, but if not all aspects, but they actually think that.
Everyone has their own opinion.
Well, Enterprise wins just hands down on the fact that the ship looks half decent.
Oh, it's true.
I mean, Discovery is nothing but a pizza cutter with wings.
That is that. Yeah, but don't get me wrong. Now,
with a hole in the center.
The NX class, I was never a really big fan of.
I like the refit,
but you're right. Discovery is nothing but a pizza cutter with wings.
Yeah, but I do like the refit. I like the refit NX more than I like the NX.
And I wish they'd gotten to the refit.
Yes.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm talking about more than just a photon torpedo upgrade.
Yes.
And that you actually see that at some point in time later on. But give them a fucking tractor beam, for God's sake. Get rid of the grappler.
Well, I liked the refit had the whole secondary hull.
Yeah.
And probably shields too.
Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure. I'd have to go back and watch the Trek Yard show, but yeah.
Yeah, because for the whole time, for the whole 4 seasons, man, they never had shields, man. It's like polarize the whole plating. It's like, come on, give them a fucking shield emitter or two. The Vulcans are there. They get their technology from somewhere.
I found a meme that you're gonna like. I'll send it to Han.
Okay.
Why are you gonna send it to Han?
Because I can't post.
You can't what?
I can't post it in the private chat, and I can't post it in the main chat.
You can DM me.
Do I have you on Twitter?
Yes, you do.
Oh, okay.
Is it the same one you already sent me, or is it a
No,
different
no, no, it's a different one.
Okay.
All right, so now I got to find Sith on here.
It's simple. Put in my name.
Yeah, I know that.
It's only technology, man. Come on. You're good at it.
High-tech redneck.
That's exactly what I am.
There he is.
Just had a moment.
So.
Good morning, Fuel. I hope you're doing good. If you're still here.
Fuel's cooking pasta.
There you
No
go. It's sent to your Twitter there, Sith.
Pasta sounds good.
Sweet.
You'll like it.
Oh, what the hell? There's many mornings I feel that way.
Twisted like you were doing me before?
Yeah, it's one of the ones I sent you.
Like when you're trying to die and Luke won't shut up.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah.
When you're trying to die and Luke won't shut up.
No, but
or in my case, when I'm trying to sleep and Canuck won't shut up.
Well, there's that.
Well, now the truth comes out on what y'all do on these watch parties. He's like, I've seen this shit. I'm just gonna take a nap. Or try to. Because Canuck won't shut up.
There's no better social distancing than sleeping together on the internet.
Well, see, my name is Rambling Canuck, so it wouldn't make sense.
And he does ramble.
Well,
Rambling is a fitting name.
Yeah, maybe so, but rambling can also be like a country music term too.
Yes.
Like you ramble around, like go around places.
And trust
or you
me,
drive a Rambler.
He sends me tons of country music.
He rambles around looking for places to give or get head.
No.
He just wants to know all the locations just so he knows them just in case. Wink, wink.
And Sith Lord is a deckhand on a tugboat. Where he tugs along.
Yeah.
And he got to stroke the fuel tank of the space shuttle. Oh, this one went off the rails really quick.
I think this is where I walked in on it. Yeah.
See, I can go Sith when I have to. You'll like this one.
Thank you, Rob. I appreciate that.
You'll like this. You'll like this one too.
Something's telling me I need a fucking drink right now. Shit.
The whiskey in the fridge, and my blood work's done now, so I don't have to worry about it.
Oh, what's stopping you? Pour me one.
It's in the other room.
I was gonna say I haven't had breakfast yet because I'm literally I ain't been up an hour and a half maybe.
I got up at like 10 or 10:30, something like that.
Oh, you all sleep in. I was up by 5.
Well, hell, I don't normally go to bed until 4:30 or 5.
I like to wake up at the crack of noon.
I'm normally up at 5, but I'm off today, so I slept in.
You're off every day. I mean,
I wish.
I meant.
I gotta get up at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, I like both of those, Rob. Those are funny as shit. Get off my lawn!
Yeah. Next time we see those, like Pride Days or something, we gotta throw that one up.
Yeah. Get off my lawn!
And when you accidentally,
and the fucked up thing about it is, yeah, I'm one of the oldest on the panel right now. Okay, but I'm not that old. I still find myself sitting out in front of the house in the shade, like the old codger you see in any classic setting, like, get off my lawn. And I got the grade kicking and everything. It's like, I'm just out there waiting for somebody to walk up so I can say that one day. Hey, you damn kids.
here we'll distract Sith for a couple minutes.
Why?
And how?
You better not be sending me a fucking dick pic.
No. We'll distract Sith for a minute or two. Sith will go quiet for about 5 minutes.
5 minutes? What the fuck, dude?
Trust me, he's a pervert, but he's not that perverted. Well,
why does this woman look familiar? I'd like to shoot her rifle.
Like I said, I'll distract Sith for a couple minutes.
No, dude, seriously, she looks familiar. It's like not like, oh my god, look at her. No, I'm looking at the gun.
And I'll send you my favorite Star Wars meme ever.
Oh dear Lord, this is probably gonna have Baby Yoda on it.
oh no, this one I saw earlier.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's funny as hell. I like that.
Yeah, that one's the best one.
Yeah, that's funny as hell.
Taken from A New Hope.
It fits, dude.
Yeah, it does. Surprisingly, it does.
It fits. It's like, okay, yeah, point. Anyway, sorry for disrupting the flow, hon. It's all yours.
No worries.
It's all yours and Rob's fault. So it's
No, we agreed on this. It's DJ's fault.
Yeah, it's DJ's fault.
Yeah, but DJ's not here, and it's easy to blame you, Rob.
And besides, I just fall back to the original hashtag blame Loki.
well.
Always.
All right. I'll give you that one.
Considering I created that one.
Yeah, no, I give you that one.
I can use it on any stream because I created it. Anyway.
Yeah, as long as you give them the link to the shirt in the back room. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what about the back room? What?
The Captain Trek wants to see in the back room there, Sith.
No, sir.
Oh, my.
I'm sorry. You walked right into that one.
You're as bad as Canuck.
You walked right into that one.
That is not what I meant, and you damn well know.
It gives a whole new meaning to the term ready room. You better get ready, buddy. Time to get ready. I never understood it. I never really understood that particular phrase. You know, I was a kid when I first seen when I first saw TNG, and I'm like, what the hell's a ready room? What is that? What are they getting ready for? You know, it just grew on me.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it sounds better than a meeting room.
Well, let me ask you this. Okay, you're watching Enterprise now, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Archer's got his own form of a ready room.
Right.
Where was Kirk's?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't think I thought about it.
Because Picard had one, Janeway had one, Cisco had his office right there in command or in ops. There's one on Discovery, you know, like where was Kirk's? And if you want to go by the timeline, even though it was Pike, then Kirk, the Enterprise exists in the same universe as Discovery. Where was Kirk's ready room? Every show has one except for the TOS.
Yeah.
But I guess Kirk said, "Well, come to my quarters." You know, he had his own form of his own setup, or get in the meeting room or something like that. But it was never on the bridge.
Hey, Will Gentry, good to see you.
Hey, Will.
Well, he did hold a lot of meetings in his room.
Yeah, with a lot of different women.
Exactly.
No, he was a ladies' man, but through the course of the series, he only got it on with only just a small handful.
Then he got the tribbles. I had to go to the doctor.
Yeah, he had to go get the triple shaved.
Well,
yeah, he had to go take care of the pork and beans.
This has been going for about 2 hours, so
yep,
it's about time to wrap it up. Will, you got here kind of late.
No love.
Seth, now you're laughing. You were talking about us talking about dirty shit. Now you're laughing when I say wrap it up.
So I'm like, yeah, buddy, no glove, no love. Yeah, all right.
We'll let everybody give their shout outs. Rob, you can go first.
All right. Well, join Captain Trek and I on Wednesday nights when he makes me watch Enterprise. And then when I keep him up long past his bedtime and the old fart in him comes out on Saturday night. And then Monday nights, I have Monday Night Mayhem with another person from the community at 9.
When's the Enterprise thing going?
7 p.m. on Wednesday nights, Central.
Central, so that's 8 Wednesday. Shit. I got another stream at 8:30, so yeah, I can't hang out. Oh well. Well, you're doing 2 episodes this week, right?
In all likelihood, yes.
Okay, I might be able to pop in later after the stream is done.
Well, see, we watch them pre-show and then talk about them in show. So we go from 7 till 8, so 8 till 9.
All right, cool. Sorry to interrupt.
And then the karaoke stream is Saturday nights from 9:30 Central, so 10:30 your time, till roughly, I try not to keep them up too long, so usually 2.5 hours.
And that's when Shenanigans is, so yeah.
Yeah, we go head-to-head with Shenanigans, yeah.
Okay. All right,
not on purpose, but just the way it worked out.
It's all cool. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, all good. And yeah, and then I do a couple of open line streams and videos on occasion. And my channel is Rambling Canuck, obviously. Captain Trek, I guess you're next.
Well, I normally just do open line live streams. Haven't been doing them in the past week or so, but I'm going to be starting to do those again. And you can find me on on YouTube under Captain Trek. So
then we have JJ, aka Sith Lord. Hello, JJ. Are you still with us, JJ? I think JJ dropped out again.
No, you flatlined. Yep.
He did.
He flatlined.
I guess that's all of our introductions then. That's okay, Will Gentry. I appreciate you showing up, even if you're late. But that's going to wrap it up for this week. You can join me this Sunday for Jackbox Game Night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We just hang out for an hour or two and play Jackbox games. So on my channel. So come by and check that out. And I think JJ's back. Or are you back?
Yeah.
Okay.
My roommate just informed me that Comcast is in the neighborhood, so they're doing some kind of fucking work.
Well, hurry up and pimp yourself before you get thrown off again.
It's me, your boy JJ. You can find me here. You can see it in my name at Sith Lord.
Oh, he didn't hurry fast enough.
Comcast cock blocked him.
Yeah. You can also find him on Twitter at SithLord3827 and on Mary Mayhem's channel, moderating and sometimes being on Shenanigans. I'll go on and finish up his pimpage. But I appreciate everybody being here. Captain Trek, I appreciate you dropping in with us.
Certainly.
Good to have you. And until next time, everybody take care. Everybody look out for each other and don't go stir crazy if you're still quarantining. And we'll do this again next Thursday. Hopefully I'm back now, not on hiatus anymore. And I'll start doing these every week again. But I appreciate everybody being here, everybody in the chat, everybody on the panel. And we'll see you next time. If this is your first time joining us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HanstarYT. Good night, everybody.